morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to look at the most expensive and valuable cards from Starbirth. Starbirth came out just this past weekend, so we've had a few days for the prices to settle, and stores to start telling us all about the prices they're charging. And what is interesting here, we have got some buy prices from DS Nipponbashi over on Twitter. But they've actually gone and shared a picture of some, not all, but some of their sell prices as well, which means that we are going by buy prices, don't get me wrong, that's where we got the most information, but we've got some sell prices as well, which makes me rather happy. But really, right, when we are talking about these cards, there's only one real question. There's one huge question we've all got, and that is, how much are the Charizards selling for? Weirdly, not as much as the Arceus, but we'll start with the Charizard. So, looking at Charizard here, we have got the Rainbow Rare V-Star. That is the rarest, most sought after, most expensive of them. I think artwork-wise it's rubbish compared to the alternate art, however, it is the most expensive of them, and as it stands at the moment, that is being bought for 8,000 yen, which, converting it into a currency most of you are a little bit more familiar with, brings us in at $70 or £51, and that is the buy price. What's the sell price, I hear you ask? Not a huge markup. It is being sold for 8,990 yen, which comes in at about $79 or £57. So, a pretty expensive card. But not a hugely expensive card. It's not actually the number one card in the set. We'll get to the number one card in the set in a moment. But this is a pretty expensive card. This is one that is going to, I think it's fair to say, cost a few quid. This one is pretty big. In terms of the alternate art Charizard, and I absolutely adore this, I think the artwork is absolutely over the top stunning. This is being bought for 6,600 yen, which comes in at $58 or £42. So it's a little bit below the Rainbow Rare V-Star, not a huge amount. And this one is being sold again for a little bit of a markup. This is being sold for 7,990 yen, which comes in at $70 or £51, which is, of course, pretty much the buy price of the Rainbow, which is kind of interesting. The other Charizard we've got coming in here is the Full Art Charizard V. There is a fairly huge drop here. What we've got is 1,600 yen it's being bought for, which is $14 or £10, which is not terrible. And it is being sold for not a huge markup at all. It's being sold for 1,990 yen, which comes in at about $17 or £13. So if you want yourself a Charizard, that is one of the more reasonable ones out there. So yeah, Charizard are still absolutely making waves, don't get me wrong. These Charizard are still extremely sought after and extremely cool. But it turns out that the biggest card in the set, the most sought after, the most expensive, and you probably could have guessed this if I'm honest with you, it's the Gold Arceus. The Gold Arceus is the really big one here. Remember that all the V-Stars, all four of them in Starbirth do get Rainbow Rares, but the only one that actually gets the gold treatment is Arceus. Now that is being bought for 8,500 yen, so you're talking $74 or £54, which is, is a little bit pricey there. And it's being sold for 9,990 yen, which comes in at $87 or £64, which on the one hand is a very expensive card, on the other hand it's the only gold V-Star from the set, it is the most expensive card from the set, and it's coming in at like $87. I'm not saying it's cheap, but I'm saying compared to some of the ridiculous prices we've seen for cards in the past, that is way, way more reasonable. Now, in terms of the other Arceus here, we've got the alternate art regular Arceus coming in at 7,000 yen, 400 more than the Charizard, and 7,000 yen here, you are talking $61 or £45. And then that is then being sold on, because remember we want to look at the sale price as well here, for the not that much more 7,990 yen, so you're talking about $70 or £51 is being sold for the exact same price as the Charizard. So even though the Charizard is being bought a little bit cheaper, the Arceus and Charizard are both being sold for the same price. I mean, the difference is 400 yen, which is really not that much, but still, it's kind of interesting, I suppose. And the Full Art Arceus is again more expensive than the Full Art Charizard. It is being bought for 2,100 yen, 500 more than the Charizard, and that comes in at $18 or £13, and it is being sold on for an undisclosed price. Unfortunately, like I say, we don't have all of the sell prices, so if we want to compare them properly, we've got to use the buy prices, but we know they're not being sold for a huge markup. You can extrapolate that a little bit. Now, there is one other card here which is really making waves. It's neither an Arceus nor a Charizard, and that is Gold Ultra Ball. And I was interested to see what would happen with Gold Ultra Ball, given that, of course, we've had 2 Gold Ultra Ball in the past, and the answer is it's being bought for 8,000 yen, which comes in at $70 or £51. And that one, I mean, look, it's the exact same price they are buying the Rainbow Rare Charizard for, so we can assume, although we don't have a set price, we can assume they're probably selling it for $8,990, which is $79 or £57. So yeah, that is a pretty expensive card. For what it's worth, your Gold Arceus is number 1, and then your Rainbow Rare Charizard and your Gold Ultra Ball are sharing number 2. And then your number 3 is your alternate art Arceus. Now, in terms of non-Pokemon, there is one which is relevant, and you all know by this stage, it's a new Cynthia card. It's a Cynthia. People love Cynthia. It's a full art supporter. No, it's not a rainbow. People like the full art better. And what we've got here is 3,500 yen as a buy price. That is $31 or £22. And we know that is being sold on for 4,190 yen, so you're talking about $37 or £27. And that is the only supporter that's really making waves in Starbirth. It's the only one that's really making much of an impact at all. So it's really kind of nice that it's not a ridiculous price. Sure, there's a little bit of value there, but it is not setting the collecting world on fire like it could be, and I, for one, find this absolutely delightful. Now, in terms of other cards which are relevant, we do need to mention Luminion here. Luminion, remember, has the exact same ability as your old Tapu Lele. When you play it from your hand to your bench, you get to search for a supporter card and put it into your hand. It is a redonkulous card that is going to be played in almost every deck. And in terms of the alternate art, which is clearly the best version of it, it is being bought for 4,100 yen, so you're talking $36 or £26. That is roughly 2/3 of the alternate art Charizard. Or half of a Gold Ultra Ball. What that means is, because remember, we've only got sale prices for some of them, so we need to focus more on the buy prices, and the prices aren't the same in Japan and outside, so it's a comparison which is the most useful here, and it's, half of a Gold Ultra Ball, 2/3 of an alternate art Charizard, which is kind of nice for an absolutely stunning card which is going to see a huge amount of play. Now, there is a full art version of it that is being bought for 1,600 yen, which comes in at $14 or £10. And it's interesting to note that is the exact same buy price as Charizard. So this is probably going to be sold for 1,990 yen. So you're talking $17 or £13. So Charizard's got the name and Luminion's got the playability, and they both come in for a, honestly, fairly reasonable price. I'd pay 13 quid for a full art Luminion. That seems alright by me. And for what it's worth, the regular Luminion is only being bought for 600 yen. That's like $5.20 or £3.80. And then it'll be sold for like a tiny bit more than that. But we are not talking about a very expensive card at all. I am really, really hoping that carries on over here. And then I suppose one other card which is worth mentioning is the Gold Magma Basin. Really nice new supporter which is going to be helping out, or stadium I should say. It's going to be helping out those fire decks, being bought for 1,200 yen. So you're talking somewhere in the region of $10.50 or £7.50. Not a terribly expensive card, which is rather nice. You know, less than the full arts we've looked at. Same as 2 Luminion, the regular. So it's not a stunning card in terms of playability. Should be quite good in fire decks. And it is just a gold stadium card that is never going to be as popular as all of the really cool Pokemon. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. These cards will, of course, be in Brilliant Stars, and now you should have a little bit of an idea as to roughly which are going to be the most sought-after cards, which are going to be the best, which are going to be the most expensive, things along those lines. But now, ladies and gentlemen, it's over to you guys. I want to know what you think about this. I want to know which of these cards you like the most. I want to know which singles you're going to be going after. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.